Time to go out there and ball, man. Ain't no stopping us tonight. None, baby. It's on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Listen to that talk in that huddle. He wants them going out there with some intensity. We're live, the home of the Trailblazers, the beautiful Rose Garden in wonderful Portland, Oregon. A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, Amar'e Stoudemire.
Well, the #1 priority for a defense when you face this guy is to keep him getting anywhere from the basket because he's just so strong as a finisher.
And I'll tell you one more thing about him, Steve. He sets a screen maybe better than anybody. And if he rolls off of it, he gets the ball and gets a clean look. It's automatic.
For the Portland Trailblazers, they won their last contest, that game against the Warriors in Oakland.
And, guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
And to do it on the road, too, I mean, with the way they just kept coming at him, they kept that crowd out of the game the entire time. That's good work.
Now, here's Lillard. Train passes to Lillard. Pass to B-Train. 6 on the shot clock. The shape. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. That's on Raymond Felton. Tremendous stuff from a guy, Clark, we think more of for his passing.
Yeah, but he's got tremendous leaping ability and a surplus supply, too.
Well, that's a great aggressive move, and 2 big points, too.
The Trailblazers shooting their first free throw tonight.
And over the course of the season, guys, they've shot a very respectable 78% from the line.
That's been one of the strongest aspects of this team this season. I mean, there have been very few off nights for them at the free throw line.
Now, here's Felton. Coming off a solid outing against Washington. Anthony. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
You know, during last season, Melo said that he felt the team they had in place was talented enough to compete with anybody. I agree with him, and that might be the first time in his career that that was the case. He had a team that he was that confident in.
Both free throws good from Anthony. And for Anthony and the Knicks, they weathered their share of injuries but remain one of the top teams in the East in the regular season.
And for Anthony, Kevin, it's got to be nice to play in New York where he was born. He's helped bring this Knicks franchise back to prominence.
Now here is Aldridge. An 11-point game for him in the win against Golden State.
And don't forget 4 blocks, so a huge game for him defensively as well.
Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Stoudemire. He kicks it to Carmelo. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton.
Tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that one.
Well, it's pretty obvious, guys. Portland has a lot of young talent, but the defensive effort has to get better. The intensity, the concentration at that end of the floor has to grow, which is always tough with a young team, but to get better, it's going to have to start with defense there.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. Portland finishing second to last in opposing team shooting percentage, Clark. Yeah, that's interesting. Defense, something that usually needs to be learned in the NBA, and the Blazers were a young team last season, Steve, and easily a team learning game by game.
Yeah, the youth are not, though, Kevin. I mean, 48% against you defensively in terms of field goal percentage. That can't happen. So a lot of improvement in store for this Portland team. They really have to lock in on the defensive end.
And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Here's Stoudemire. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Robinson. And Doris Burke spoke with Mike Woodson. Doris?
He said the player he'll be watching closely in this matchup is Thomas Robinson. He added, you have to respect the energy he brings to the game. That'll be the challenge for our bigs, is matching that energy and physicality. Guys, Robinson a guy with a growing skill set, but it's still that athleticism and hustle that's really his calling card. Back to you.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Here's Felton, following the score by Damian Lillard. Pass to Anthony. It's rebounded by B-Train.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
Wide open look. Count the bucket. B-Train's got 6.
Solid screen right there that freed him up for the jump shot.
Chandler with a screen for Felton. He dishes it to Carmelo. Chandler against Aldridge. And there's a whistle that goes on B-Train. That's his first foul.
Tough break for the defense. He took the heat and drew the whistle.
Yep, but when you get there late, that's what happens.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play.
The shots aren't dropping yet. They've missed 4 of their first 5 shots.
Some solid defense from Robinson. Here's B-Train. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. B-Train's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Ran his man straight into that screen to open the lane up for the hoop.
What's interesting for me to watch with Mike Woodson as head coach in New York is the exciting floor space. Offense they started playing last season. In Atlanta, he'd been known for a grinded out isolation play style, but has actually tweaked his approach a little bit, and that's been impressive.
The fadeaway, and Anthony gets it to go. Anthony's got his 2nd basket of the night.
Boy, he can be a matchup nightmare inside the paint.
Lillard outside. He passes it to B-Train. Into LaMarcus Aldridge. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. And back to Mike Woodson, not a flashier, high-maintenance type of personality. He keeps it on the level, and I think, Steve, the players appreciate that.
Players definitely like that. He's very quiet on the sidelines, but not afraid to get in your face when necessary. And I think that's a really good temperament for a coach to have. In general, I think he's a guy who is very well respected around the league and did an excellent job with New York a season ago.
For the New York Knicks, they won their last contest against the Washington Wizards.
And they did just what you have to do as a road team, guys. They never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Seemed like every time they took a punch, they had a counter.
You'll like this, Steve. Reverse spurtability, we call that. They had any defensive lapses, they immediately made up for it with some instant offense.
Knicks trail by 4. The drive by Smith.
Oh, ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
Just floating to the rim on that slam.
Boy, when he gets up and stays up.
Boy, smooth and graceful. How about the hang time? That's impressive.
Aldridge dishes to Lillard. Clock at 6. B-Train. Back to Lillard. Passes to B-Train. Kicks it to Aldridge. Robinson passes to Batum. And that one's good.
Well, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. Force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
Here's Smith following the basket by Nicholas Batum. Smith kicks to Stoudemire. From 11 feet away, Portland grabs the miss. This their first look at this year's New York squad.
Well, it's their only look at this team all season for these fans, Kevin, with the inter-conference matchup that we have.
He feeds it to Aldridge. And some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. B-Train passes to Aldridge. With the lead pass, it's stolen by Anthony. Smith outside. There's the dish to Carmelo. Robinson on him. From deep. LaMarcus Aldridge grabs the miss. Steve, talking about these interconference matchups, you just don't see these teams all that much. You're not familiar with the roster as much, and they only get together, as Steve was saying, Clark, just twice a year.
And being the first meeting of that 2-game series we just talked about, the pressure is usually more on the home team to get the job done and not set yourself up to get swept when you visit their place later on.
A shot by Batum, no good. Felton goes in. Felton off the pick from Stoudemire. 6 to shoot, and that one's good. Smith's got his second bucket tonight. Now let's take a second to bring up our rookie leaderboard for a glance at this year's top first-year free throw shooters. Well, you look at B-Train, 4th in the league, and as consistent as they come at the free throw line.
He needs to continue getting to the free throw line as much as possible because he's pretty deadly once he gets there.
And that's what can take rookies a little time to learn, Steve. Knocking down your free throws is one thing, but getting to the line with aggressive, smart play is the hard part.
Lillard misses.
Tell you what, guys, if you had questions about Amari's willingness to play a role on the team, he should have put them all to rest with how he came off the bench for the Knicks. Couldn't have been easy for him, but he handled it well.
Out of bounds, Trailblazers ball as Portland keeps possession. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Monty. And here are the Trailblazers now, trailing by 4. That shot's good from B-Train. B-Train's got 10 points in the game. Well, with Amari's dealing with those knee troubles, I might forget he was really the one who first made the Knicks a destination.
Yeah, signing there in free agency in 2010. He had a huge season, averaged 25 points a game, and I think really energized that New York fan base. He was kind of the franchise player before Carmelo arrived.
The forwards are Batum and Thomas Robinson. B-Train out there with Craig. And it's Aldridge in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers.
And LaMarcus Aldridge, an all-star for the 3rd straight season. You know, looking back, he's really been the jewel of that 2006 draft class where he went 2nd overall.
The Knicks making a switch here. Chandler's checked in. Now, Clark, you talk about Aldridge and what he's meant to the Trailblazers. Really the franchise player, Steve, in Portland. I think they look at him that way.
And for a team that had to rebuild on the fly after losing so many of their key players to injury, going back to Brandon Roy and Greg Oden, it's nice to see the Blazers bounce back and start to get Aldridge some help with guys like Damian Lillard and Batum and Matthews.
That doesn't go on the chance to tie.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
Smith kicks to Felton. Back to Smith. No good. So the Trailblazers will take it the other way.
You can't be the number 2 seed in the East by being mediocre on the road. I mean, the Knicks had a veteran group, and they all had the mental fortitude and experience to finish off games on the road last season.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for New York.
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
Clark, as you said, the Knicks were one of the tougher teams on the road, and their road record was, you know, what separated them, Steve, from the middle of the pack in the East.
Yeah, 23 road wins, second only to the Heat in the East. It was interesting, Kevin. They relied so heavily on threes that, you know, sometimes on the road they'd go cold, but they could also get hot in a hurry, and they were able to avoid a bad spell.
The shot's good from B-Train. For New York, they've gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Felton dishes to Smith. And there's a whistle that goes on B-Train. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's foul number 2 on him. It might not warrant sitting him entirely, but you know, another one before halftime, they could be in some trouble.
Iman Shumpert is checked in for New York. The 3, and that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Felton's got 3 assists tonight.
Well, you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, B-Train in the last matchup against the Warriors was just phenomenal. He had 49 points and was effective from long range as he got that scoring line by dropping in a good amount of threes. Just numbers that really jump out at you in a box score.
And thank you, Doris. It was a performance that has to have their upcoming opponents terrified, Clark.
Well, I know this opponent should be terrified because there's a good chance the momentum he gathered that night carries right over into this game.
Well, some of it will carry over. That's inevitable. It's just a matter of how much.
Outside, Felton. Dishes it to Shumpert. Plenty of space. Portland grabs the miss. B-Train's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Robinson, and there's the second dunk to finish it off. There it is, guys, that Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Anthony backing him down. Back to Smith. Jacks up a 3. Up again. Great positioning on the putback. And the Knicks lead by 5.
That's purely a hustle play there. Getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in, well done.
And that's, a quality you see any strong offensive rebounder possess. And we saw it right there.
Yeah, it's the anticipation more than anything. It's understanding where that ball is going before anybody else on the floor does.
Batum covered by Smith. Shot clock at 6. Right side Robinson. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. The shot's good from B-Train.
You know, he started out hot, and he's only gotten hotter. He could be in for one of those games.
Felton kicks to Smith. Smith left side. And here's Anthony for 3. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge. Trailblazers trail by 3. Here's B-Train. He had a career game last time out. Bucket after bucket. No problems knocking that one down.
Well, there's plenty to like about him as a player, but, one thing that really stands out is the quick trigger. He can catch the ball in space, defenders all over him, but, in an instant, lets that shot go, and he is accurate.
And he is a persistent defender, too, Steve. I mean, even if he gets caught behind on the break, he'll bust his behind to get back into the play and maybe come up with a block at the last second.
And they take the lead. And that's now 6 points for Nicholas Batum.
Boy, fantastic job by Aldridge to lay into that defender on the screen.
Felton kicks to Shumpert. From 17 feet out. The shot is off. Great D that time from Batum. Some firepower, Clark and Steve, from this offense.
Yeah, Kevin, how about the air and confidence? I mean, they
Yeah.
really look like they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, a little swagger here from this team. They're in a nice groove.
Now Shumpert. He has 5. Smith the pass to Shumpert. And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2.
One of the big things that Iman Shumpert brings to the team is his pressure.
Matthews against World Peace. Backs down. Shumpert. Back to World Peace. Now the pass to Bargnani. Outside World Peace. No good on the triple. And Shumpert had that ACL tear in the 2012 playoffs, but after missing the first month and a half, Clark, I thought he bounced back pretty well.
I'd say he did. I mean, there was some concern. His game is really predicated on his athleticism at this point, but he looked pretty good. Not a great outside shooter, but he cut his turnovers down and showed he could still elevate for some spectacular finishes, and was not bad shooting the ball from the three-point line. I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
Here's Udrich. The feed to Shumpert. 5 to shoot. In low to Martin. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Really, they've backed off of working it inside. I mean, they haven't gotten it inside as much as they did earlier in the game. And I think they've got to get back to that.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Portland.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
And they're getting good balance offensively, too, because they're starting to knock down that mid-range jumper.
That is good. And that's 18 points for B-Train.
And as hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan should be simple. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Udrich dishes to Shumpert. Shumpert off the pick for Martin. Wright with the double team. And World Peace kicks to Udrich. Shumpert for the three. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, if this game comes down to the rebounding battle, they'll be the ones coming out on top.
Yeah, they've been really strong in the paint, battling the glass.
Pass to B-Train. Here's Craig. McCollum with the ball. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, C.J. McCollum out of Lehigh, gifted scorer, able to shoot with range and get a shot off the dribble and attack in transition. He's a high volume, but also very efficient scorer.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Jeremy Tyler, he's checked in for Bargnani. Stoudemire comes in for Kenyon Martin. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Iman Shumpert. Prigioni passes to Stoudemire. Shot from 6. No luck. Now Portland takes it the other way. And McCollum only 5'2", his freshman year in high school. Can you believe that? He was lightly recruited. Clark, you and I were talking about this. Not so, though, when it came time for the pros. Everybody's interested in him now.
And for good reason. I mean, he actually said that baseball was by far his best sport as a youngster. Played multiple positions, but basketball is his game now.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
Well, this is what you have to do when you're trailing. You've got to attack, be aggressive, and get to that foul line.
And perhaps cause some foul trouble along the way. I mean, that can have a big impact down the road.
Back to Aldridge. B-Train, defended by Prigioni. B-Train loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. B-Train's got 22.
They're getting on the roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
The defense has to make an adjustment. They've got to string together some stops, or at the very least, try to force this team into some bad shots.
Here's World Peace. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Aldridge has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Solid job by them on the glass here tonight. +8 in rebounding.
Well, you have to rebound to win, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Stoudemire dishes to World Peace. And the Knicks miss again.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costing.
Here's B-Train. Fires for 3. Shot misses.
And no excuses there. Got a really good look at the basket after being freed up by the pick.
And now, brought to you by Sprint. Now let's the Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. We've seen B-Train really have a great game.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that tally in the second half.
Checking out the group for Mike Woodson to start this second half. Anthony, Stoudemire, and Chandler, their front line. The guards, Ray Felton and J.R. Smith.
You know, for a long time, the Knicks were viewed as a young team on the rise, but when they added Rasheed Wallace last year, the average age went to 32, which was the oldest team in the league last season. And you saw it in their play. They were a group of veterans out there.
Knicks trail by 6. Feeds it to Stoudemire. New York moving the ball around. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And for the Knicks, the veteran leadership helped them at times as they had to go through some very tough stretches, Steve, due to injury.
Yeah, they did go through some stretches, but they really did well to secure the division title and get that high seed going into the playoffs. They had a pretty decent run, all in all, but this is a team that has higher aspirations than just getting to the conference semis.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Well, guys, J.R. J.R. Smith is a player who has faced his share of criticism over the years. Coming into last season, he said, "I looked my career over and realized I never won anything. I'm lacking discipline. I have to show people a different side of me, that I can be more positive, humble, and be more of a team player as opposed to just trying to do everything myself." And it paid off as he won the Sixth Man of the Year award. Coach Mike Woodson said, quote, "I'm so proud of him. He bought in, he put in the time, and he worked his tail off." A great story, Kevin.
Well, you have to like that focus on the team first. Thanks, Doris. Felton goes in. Smith outside. All by himself. B-Train passes to Lillard. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Now it's a 7-point Trailblazer lead.
Well, the drive to the bucket was nice, but how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
Felton kicks to Stoudemire. Shot's good. Stoudemire's got his second basket of the night.
Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
B-Train passes to Robinson. Here's B-Train, covered by Smith. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. That one is on Stoudemire. Nice abs and determination that time. Clark to get to the rim.
We know he can bounce, and right there an example of how dangerous he is when he's got a path to the hoop.
And you love the versatility, guys. Being a point guard, and in this situation, they tack on 2 more points, expanding the lead in a pretty deflating way for the defense.
He kicks it to Felton. Smith outside. Off target from outside.
Now still a great start to the half.
Good job.
3, 2, 1, blast off. He's got into orbit for that jam.
All right, off that comment, maybe we should call that the satellite slam.
I like it. I like that.
I don't. That's way too much, Kevin. Settle down.
You know, one of the things we love about Aldridge is his offensive versatility. I mean, he's a big guy. It's obviously a threat in the post, but he's really worked to make himself a threat from the elbows, the edges of that foul lane area, and he's quite dangerous there, too.
Here's B-Train. 30 points in the game. Pass to Lillard. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. And going back to Aldridge Clark, great skill, and for his size, you know, Steve, he can really move.
Good point, Kevin. Defenders try to front him in the post, and he'll continually roll right to the rim or across the lane to create a better passing angle for his guards.
Here is Lillard, averaging 12 points a game. Aldridge with a screen on Anthony. Shot off a pick. Passes it to B-Train. Chandler comes with the double team. Tipped. It's stolen by Anthony. Felton attacking. He dishes it to Stoudemire. Back to Felton. He passes to Stoudemire. Anthony. Kicks to Smith. Chandler with a screen for Smith. Just 5 on the clock. And here's Felton from the arc. Dives for it. And it's Portland with the rebound. Aldridge has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Next up for them is going to be the Suns. That'll be at the U.S. Airways Center. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. Shoots. Portland again missing. Knicks trailed by 11. Smith with it. Lillard picks him up. Smith dishes to Felton. He feeds it to Stoudemire. Back to Felton. And the layup's good off the glass. Felton's got 6.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on him.
Kenyon Martin, he's checked in for Stoudemire. Here's B-Train. He's covered by Felton. No good from B-Train. For New York, they've gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Here's Anthony. And it's out of bounds to the Knicks as New York retains possession. Now a chance to check out the top NBA block leaders. Well, you look at B-Train, a fierce inside defender. Tops in the NBA in blocks.
What an intimidator he is in the paint. He's shot to the top of that leaderboard and has looked good doing it.
Anthony. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Chandler's got his second bucket of the night.
Perfect inbounds pass and an easy 2 points.
Here's B-Train. No one. Felton with some nice D.
Poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
And that one's good. That's 7 points for Tyson Chandler.
Boy, he is a strong finisher on the fast break.
Yeah, he sure is. He remains in total control, even at full speed. I love that about him.
Taken away by Anthony. And here we go with Anthony running it up the court. Now the dish to Smith. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. And that's 10 points for J.R. Smith. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Knicks.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And they're also really getting out in transition and scoring some hoops in the fast break tonight.
No good from B-Train. Knicks trail by 3. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Big time is right, Clark. A lot of momentum here offensively.
And again, it's J.R. Smith. Smith's got 12 points in the game.
This seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
Iman Shumpert is checked in for Tyson Chandler. There's the pass to B-Train. Kept alive, Robinson. Misses and the dry spell continues. New York's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And the jam by J.R. Smith. Clark, third quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
Yeah, it's really been a bit of a tug of war. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, both teams playing well. Neither club able to pull away.
Here's B-Train. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
He's got one of those shooting strokes that never changes, guys. I mean, even if the defender's all over him, just never seems to flinch. A great quality to have as a shooter.
And one thing about him that might not show up in the box score, but is as important as anything else, is his leadership. I mean, he sets the tone for this team, and all of his teammates follow his example.
And the Knicks making a change here. Bargnani's checked in. Anthony backing him down. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
You know, I think Carmelo is one of the great scorers in the NBA, but his three-point shooting has really been inconsistent over the course of his career. That's where he could make the most improvement. Shoots a low percentage out there, and I think settles too often for that three-point shot. He's so strong, I'd like to see him put the ball on the floor and get to the hole more often.
Stoudemire's checked in for New York.
Here's where the New York Knicks sit early in the season in the NBA statistics. First in three-point shooting, second in steals, and they're ranked 3rd overall in team offense. This is a team that knows how to put the ball in the basket, and really that's their strong suit.
Man, you look at those numbers, and what obviously stands out is first in the league in three-point shooting. That's amazing. They've just done a nice job of spacing the floor, getting good looks for their shooters out there, and really passing the ball unselfishly.
Smith inside, defended by Batum. Felton kicks to Shumpert. Just 4 to shoot. Stoudemire backing him down. Collects the 2-pointer near the hoop. Stoudemire's got his 3rd bucket of the night. And Steve, to go back to Anthony and his shooting stroke, he shot more threes last season than ever before. Clark over 6 a game.
And so maybe as he emphasizes that part of his game a little more, he can get his percentage back up to the 40s like in 2011. If that happens, there's no question that makes him even more deadly as a scorer.
Good point. Felton the pass to Smith. Shumpert looking to get back on track here. And here's Felton from the arc. Gets it to go. Felton's got 9 points.
Feels like a flip has been switched at halftime because both teams now really getting after it.
And it's been a fun half of basketball, Steve.
Williams kicks to Aldridge. Pass to B-Train. Back to Aldridge. Stoudemire grabs the board. Stoudemire's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
You know, for now, the Trailblazers are still the basketball team in the Pacific Northwest. You know, Seattle made a strong push to acquire the Kings, made a record bid, but the owners decided that Sacramento had done its part to keep the Kings, and so Seattle has to wait.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, you recall around draft night, there were rumors that the Cavaliers were willing to trade both the #1 and #19 picks for LaMarcus Aldridge, but they were rebuffed by Portland. And it's easy to see why the Blazers would be reluctant to part with their franchise big man. But with Aldridge expressing unhappiness in Portland over the summer, you wonder if that's a decision they'll live to regret. Kevin?
No question, Doris. Everyone's got to be invested and on board.